myself, I would like to know the age group setting here, just for my own knowledge. Is it 20s? 18 to 24, 25? Okay, well within age groups. Fair enough. So, as what I've seen, at least in my speaking experience, people give a formal introduction. You know, they come up, they say, I'm this and this, I've qualified this exam, that exam. In my slide, the very first thing I write in the footnote is introduction to social construct. We should not pay attention to it. I have attended talks of great people in life, not to say that they lack anything, but they introduce all their positive qualities. They say, I'm BTech from here, I'm Tech from here, PhD from MIT and whatnot. Nobody tells you their bad qualities. But as for me, introduction compromises of both the things. You must have some of your good qualities, some of your bad qualities. And if you put some of your introduction in one slide, then I'm sorry for your life, it's going to be very boring. That's what I mean. Your life cannot be this boring that you have to sum up your introduction at 10 in the footnote of one slide. At least for me it is not. So I leave my introduction open to you. We have next 1 hour. I try to introduce myself, you try to say something. And at the end of that 1.5 hours, whatever English you want to create out of me or for you, public. I'll tell all the bad things, childish things that I've done. Maybe some of the good things, up to you. You decide on your own. I have a very dynamic personality. This talk over here, I have titled it Cosmos Journey Through Space and Time. Before I begin this, and of course I'll start after 20 minutes, I want you to understand the difference between two terms before I start. This science and this popular science. Have you heard of these two terms? Yes, no? I want a little bit more response from your side. Yes? Science? Popular science? Yes, no? What is the meaning of it? Can somebody come and explain? Maybe I get a different perspective of it. No way. Okay. So I'll tell you what popular science is. When you start with science, there's a lot of technical generation there. You know, you have definitions, you have formulas, you have this and that, and so on and so forth. No. Nobody wants to get into it. As a nice example, I'll start with something. Have you ever watched cartoons? Yes? I used to love cartoons as a kid until TV was banned in my home. I think when I entered class 6, TV got cut off because my father believed that you should not have jumping home. And so when we threw away, I jumped in. But what cartoon does is, it's like a source of entertainment, it gives you something. But let's go behind what happens in the cartoon. There's a story writer, he writes something. There's a sketcher, he sketches the cartoon. There's an animator, there's a guy who codes, and so forth. There's a lot of technicalities to cartoons. But when you watch as a kid, you don't care about all the technicalities. It's none of your business. One fine day you might be interested, and go backward, go to the background of what happens in the cartoon. Then you realize, oh, there's a lot of coding going on, a lot of SketchUp going on, and so forth. But when you start, there's absolutely none of those technicalities. This cartoon is the popular science, and those branches is the science that we study. Unfortunately, in our education system, we don't care about the cartoon. We only care about the technicality. We only care about the coding and the sketching and the story writing part. But understand, you will never get it until you see the cartoon, until you really know what it is. So I have a very specific department, it's called popular science, in which we try to build up this gap between you and the technical science. There has to be something which should pull you off there. Not just you sit one day in the class and you study how many parents are there, how many systems are there, how many galaxies are there. It's none of your business. Until you're interested, it makes no sense. Absolutely no sense. I'll tell you what. Before this, I was in Goa. I'm sharing this experience, and I don't know. It was quite funny to me. I don't know if it's usual for you. I have been informed that under the Constitution, under the law of India, we must have a science museum in every city, at least in the capital of every city. That's what it says. It ensures you must have it. So I went to Delhi. There's a science museum. There's a planet Delhi. I believe there's one in Bangalore. I'm not sure. I'm not visited there. So I went to Goa. I had one free day, and I visited the science museum. And what happened? There was a girl. So she was doing some science shows or something. She had a 15-minute show. And she showed me some experiments. She showed me pressure experiments. She showed me magnetism experiments and whatnot. There was 20 minutes of absolutely brilliant experiments. Then I asked her that, you know what, I'm working as a maths teacher and physics teacher, so I really like what you did there. Okay? And maybe I could suggest you experiments to some of the professors that I work. But can I know why we're doing this? I mean, this is the science museum, so why are we standing in the science museum and showing this? She's like, actually, I was jobless for a few months, and then I had nothing to do after my graduation. I'm a marine engineer, I'm a biologist, and one fine day I saw a newspaper advertisement which required somebody to do all of these. Then I got a training from the government side, and then I'm here. What struck me is that is the highest platform which a country is supposed to give you for popularizing science, making science fun and interesting to the people who visit it, the common people who visit it. And the in charge of it is doing it because she's jobless. Can you imagine this thing? She's doing it not because she's passionate in science, not because she's a science student, because she's a graduate and she's jobless and she's doing it. And I want to comment, I'm not putting down a book. She did absolutely fantastic work. But I think she's the person who's needed in the classrooms. She's the person who's needed in the colleges. More than our professors. Because she is doing what we call as popular science. Right? So this is like a small contribution, maybe not contribution, from my side towards popular science. What do you mean? And today, because I have covered cosmos, I've taken a very broad topic. I've taken something which is not just it's not just pressure and chemical reactions and all. So it's a cosmos. Cosmos means everything. Literally everything I talk about. Right? So for the next 1 hour, my only aim is to make you feel small. My aim is to make you feel small. Really? Because I believe that we use a lot of terminologies in our day-to-day life. A million, a billion. But we have no sense of what these things are. We don't know how much a billion is more than a million. We have no idea. Just keep on speaking. Million light years, billion light years, and whatnot. Any number of things. Any number of things. I have personally, okay, of course, I forgot. As a part of my introduction, I was an average kid in my school days. Sometimes 90s, sometimes 60s, sometimes 95, sometimes 35. There's a full oscillation going on from day to day. Okay? So there's no fixed percentage where I stand. I have one more rule in my book. As I said, one thing which was banned was television. The other thing which was banned was tuitions. So you're not allowed to go to tuitions. You cannot. You can clean in your classes 10 times a year, but not go to tuitions. So what happens in education, they give you prescribed course. They give you this book to study and this book to follow, and then you go about that book. But in my case, I used to study whatever comes to you. So you go to the internet and you see the best books on physics. And the first book that pops is Richard Feynman's lecture. How many people Richard Feynman? Right. So the first book that pops up is Richard Feynman's lecture. And you know for a start, like for a person who's in class 9, how difficult it is to open that book. So I opened and I absolutely considered myself a dumb person. What is it? I don't understand anything. I didn't open the SSERD books, I didn't open the SSERD or anything. I opened Richard Feynman directly. That was a disaster. But the more you read that book, the more you understand it's one of the best texts available. And slowly, Richard Feynman sort of became an ideal for me. You know, who I look up to. Why? I'll tell you why. Because my physics teachers, chemistry teachers, maths teachers, not putting them down again, but absolutely boring persons. Absolutely boring. Like you go and see them, and you say, I'll look up anything in life but not them. No, their knowledge content was good. But just the personality seems repulsive. That no, not this family character. Okay, I'll be anything but not this. I'll do something not fun in my life. I'll go to this finite. I'll go to this. I'll just okay, but not this. I won't do this. Okay? But when I read Richard Feynman, he's a completely different character. If you've read about him, Richard Feynman does anything he feels like. Anything, absolutely anything he feels like. One fine day is painting, one fine day is doing poetry, one fine day is doing science, and he does it because he wants to. I'll tell you a narrative from my classroom. What happened? Class 7 that was. That year, Pluto was taken off as a planet. It was not considered to be a planet anymore. The next year was the general knowledge paper. So we had a question, how many planets are there in the solar system? I got 8. And I got a marks deducted for that. Because my teacher said that it's 9. I said, nah. Last day I was watching news. But they said, hey, because Pluto has been taken off. She said, no, you're going to write what is there in the book. Yeah, it doesn't matter. So it doesn't matter. The book says 9, says 9, simple. So I said, that day I decided, I'm going to be anything but not this. I can't open my students and be blind and write what is in your book. Right? There's no updation of information. So that's what sort of repelled me. When I finished my class 12, I was in a different field. My friends wanted to do engineering or not. I wanted to do, but not the kind they wanted. So just to silence my relatives, I gave my RT exam, as everybody does, J. I got a fair amount of contradictory if I start writing my scores, because the very first thing I told them, you must not do it. But I'm telling you how difficult the decision would be for me. So my rank was somewhere under 600, but top 600. At that time, I went to my father and I said, I don't want to go to college at all. I'm not going to go to college. So he's like, what happened to you suddenly? Like last 1 year you've been studying like anything, and one fine day you come up to me and say that you don't want to go to college. I said, see, I cannot turn myself into a machine. At least right now, I'm having some thinking yet. Because I'm able to think this, and this. After 4 years, because a lot of my friends, a lot of my relatives, let me tell you, they're from academic background. So they are all into IITs, one of my cousins is in IT. They were rich academic, that I'm blessed with them. Just like a lot of my relatives are just into IITs and MITs. So the entire house is full of engineers, lawyers, and whatnot. Everyone. Okay, diplomats, so forth. But I didn't want to be one of them. I wanted to be an engineer. I must admit, I very much love engineering. Not that. Just not that kind. So what I did, I took a year off. Not for a coaching, not for anything. I took a year off because I was sort of not convinced with my education. I said that I have a class 12 certificate which says that you have scored n number of percentages in class 1. You got this much in math, this much in physics. But if you ask yourself that all this 12 years of education, have you really known what is there in the book? Every inch of it, every bit of it. And I think most of the time the answer will come no. So I wanted to take a year off at least once in my life. I fooled myself enough for 12 years. At least once in my life, let me be honest with myself. Let me go back and count all the pages. Let me know what is there. Right? So I took that year off. I was in Chennai. I will say Chennai because they come from the north belt. Okay? And Chennai is in a new country. I don't speak the same language. We don't have the same culture. It's going to be absolutely different. Not blessing. No relatives there. Absolutely no relatives. So nobody can contact you on it. Nobody can contact you on it and what you're doing, what not you're doing, nothing. So it's not a reason. That was the only motive. So there was a library, very nice library in Chennai, for Bangalore library. It's a huge library. So I used to go there, I used to count pages and count pages. Then I have exhausted myself with whatever I wanted to learn. That was my only motive. And then I followed the Richard Feynman's technique. Richard Feynman says that if you want to test that have you ever learned something, is to explain it to a layman. That is when I knew that I'm absolutely an illiterate person. I do not know anything. Because I tried to explain Newton's law to class 7th grade and he's staring at it. What are you saying? That doesn't even realize you don't know anything. You have to accept it first. Then I used to work on all those concepts. Night after night, like how do I make it simple? How do I make it simple? And then 1 year I left it. I've done more than all those 12 years of my education, for my formal education. Because I really worked hard on it because sometimes I used to come up and say, I'm not clear with what is action reaction forces. What if they're equal? Why don't they cancel out? These are basic things. We know the number answer to it. But then when you try explaining all these things to them, they don't know. And I was very much impressed with this series. I'll come back to it, Cosmos, which I've made the journey through space and time. Is like a power cycle, of course. Power cycle, and the next series is going to be Tyson. I hope you have seen it. So it gives you this perspective. That's what I want to talk about today. That you have a different perspective of seeing things. One of the problems that bothered me was science being taken as a subject and math being taken as a subject. At least throughout my lifetime, I have realized I do a lot of workshops in calculus, physics, and so forth. The first thing that I do is I remove from their brain that math is a subject. It's not. It's a language. It's how the nature speaks. If you want to speak, in my workshops, the 10 days workshops that I do, I remove from their brain that mathematicians are equal and mathematics is a subject. Mathematics is not a subject. Mathematicians are spooky people. There's something really spooky about it. You know the word spooky? Something ghostly, something spirit quality about it. Something coming out of. I tell you why I'm saying that. I'll come back to it. Okay? Why do I say that mathematicians are spooky people? I like to revisit everything like that. And that science is really not a subject. It's a branch of philosophy. We have to have that perspective in that head, what we're talking about. Yeah? So, one problem. As it says that we are like butterflies with butterfly day and things for that. How much is human lifetime? 70 years. How old is Earth? How old is the universe? About 15 million years. And you don't say 6, but it's okay because of my family. Right? So, our age is this small. Our whole lifetime is this small. See, can't even see a fraction of fossil fuels being formed. So we just flutter like butterflies, we live for some time, and we think this is all that the world is. This is all our world is. We think this is all the universe is, this is all that is there. Get some class parties and pass the exams, and right? But you see, the next part of my presentation is dedicated to tell you how smart we are, just for a change. So what we're going to do is, I think you must have seen it, but even if you have seen this, something called cosmic calendar. So what we do is, we compress all the known history of the universe into 1 year, one calendar year. Okay? So as I will show you, I'll come back to this. So, okay. So this is how it presumably looks like. I'll give you some background to it. So what we do is, we compress all the events in the cosmos, everything, from the Big Bang to the first galaxies, to our own galaxies, our own sun, and whatnot, into 1 year. Just one, because you're understanding your frame of reference. You know how much is 1 year, right? So we're going to talk in that sense. So January 1, we mark as the birth of the universe, the birthday of the universe. December 31st, this very night, last seconds, is when we are in the cosmos right now. Okay? At this scale, let me tell you, every month represents about 1 billion years. 1 billion years. Every month that passes is 1 billion years. Every day is 40 billion years. And every second that ticks in this calendar is about 400 years. I'm not ready, it's about 400 years. So 1 second passes is 400 years. Okay, so I'm just write it so that you remember that I left for 1 second as about 400 years. 400 years. Yeah. So I consider that every second that is ticking, you must consider that it's 400 years. Okay? It's about 1200 years. That's all. That is how. And you imagine your lifetime is 70 years. It's almost 1/4 of a second at this scale of universe that we're talking about. Okay? So our son's birthday is somewhere on August 31st. Okay? Now I don't remember all the dates, so I've written it down for myself. Okay? I represent over here. Over here is the birth of the universe, and over here, somewhere here, as you see the point, somewhere here is in the tiny fractions over here. It's going to be S. Okay? Now let me show you the work frame of the universe, how it works. January 1, we talk about the Big Bang. That's how far we can go. Why do I say? Because if we reverse the direction of time, all of the events lead into that conjuncture point as January 1, which we call as the birth of the universe. Now, few people might argue that there could be something before Big Bang, right? But after all those thorough evidences and investigations, we conclude that there could be something before Big Bang, but it doesn't affect this universe. There could be some events, and they did down, something happened, and it's all a point. So it could be a whole different series of events that could have happened. This is one hypothesis. This is the closest to reality that I know. It might be, it might not be, I don't care. Okay? So we assume that after this point, anything which happens only affects the universe. Before this, whatever happened, if at all something happened, does not affect the universe at all. This present universe at all. That is why we conclude this as the marking point. Right? That is why your birthday is your birthday. Because before that, whatever happened doesn't matter to you. You don't care about it. You started going from that point. So January 1, we represent the birth of the universe somewhere here. The very first second, 00, the midnight. Yeah? This is as far as we can see in time. What happens? The matter starts to expand. There's enormous heat in the whole of the universe. The stardust has just begun. So after a certain time, and what time I mean, somewhere here, January 10th, is the first galaxy started to form. So 10 days here. How many years? You can imagine, if 1 second represents 400 years, how much would 10 days represent? What do you say? Your best guess? About 200 million years, more than that. More than that, so about 200 million years. This is a fun fact by the way, because I'll be using the word million and billion often. Do you know the sense of it? Do you know the magnitude, how different they are? Have you read that famous post I came across recently? See, if you were to take down a clock a million times, so 1 second represents, 1 tick represents 1. So you count a million times, it will be 11 days. Okay? Now similarly, if you tick the clock 1 billion times, it will be 31 years. That's the difference. So you tick a clock 1 million times, it's just 11 days. You tick a clock billion times, it's 31 years. So don't confuse them. Billion and billion are the same things. It doesn't matter if you're saying million or billion. They're not. In your lifetime, you'll hardly live 2 billion seconds. That's all. But you would have many million seconds in your life. Good amount of million seconds. You'll have at least 100 million seconds easily. You're not going to have more than 2-3 billion seconds. 3 is a lot. 2 billion seconds, 2.5 billion seconds maximum. So please keep this scale in mind. So these are the things I talk about popular sciences, Only they can be delivered through popular sciences. They don't come to the classroom. In the classroom, we just learn the systems, hundreds, thousands, millions and billions. We don't know the scale of the universe. Right? So January 10th, as I say, January 13th, these stars started to become first galaxies. They came together with the mutual gravitation, they started to attract and whatnot. Yeah? March 15th is over here. So for the good two months, and 2 months is a lot here. Our galaxy did not exist. It didn't exist. There's no picture of our galaxy at all. Okay. So for the first 2 months of the universe, forget about we. Our own galaxy is not there. It was only about March 15th, somewhere in the mid of the March. As you see, I marked the point over here. It's not very clear, but this is when our own galaxy started to form. We will keep it. I call it about now. This is the milestone, perhaps. That March 15th is when we write out our own. Will keep it? Yeah. What about our sun? When do you think? I think I already wrote down. Yeah. So it's March, April, May, June, July, August. All these months. Our sun is not there. For half of the history of this universe, your parent sun is not there. Forget about your existence. Think about this. Big universe. Half of its existence, your sun is not there. You don't exist half of the time. Even half of the time. It's more than half. August is more than half. Crosses the 7th or 8th month of the year. Yeah? Now, think of it. Before life began, all elements, the hydrogen, nitrogen, whatever it is, calcium, so forth, must have been formed somewhere. Yes or no? Where do you think they have been formed? Of course. What else? They've been formed on the core of these stars, depending upon the varying pressures, varying conditions. All the stuff that has got life has been made up from the star. So if you think about it, every single atom, every single element making your body, the composition of it, the stuff of it, the ingredient, has come out from the surfaces of the star. So what you are made up of is the same stuff the stars are made of. In fact, your body is nothing but star stuff. The leftover, the discarded stuff from the stars. So in a way, as Carl Sagan always says, that you are a way to know the cosmos itself. It's basically assembly of atoms and molecules, trying to understand the other assembly of molecules and atoms. So the universe has sort of aggregated you. These molecules have jumped upon all this million years of evolution to make you, so that you could know the universe. This is the big picture of science that I always talk about. Now, our sun's birthday, as I said, is 31st August. It's the second of this month. Then we have September, then we have October, and so forth. You see that life on Earth began somewhere, I think, here, September 21st. Shortly after the sun. What life form do I talk about? Do I mean this kind of life or what? What? Life which was not even organic. It was not even organic. Inorganic life that I talk about. The life form which doesn't breathe. It's a non-breathing form of life. I see somewhere around 9th of November, somewhere here, is when the life started breathing. So for all the history of the universe, the breathing life is absent all this time. It starts somewhere here. That's when the life form just started to breathe, just started to see. December, somewhere on, I think, over here, 30th of December, just one day before the last time that we're talking about, 6:45 a.m. is when dinosaurs started to roam on the earth. That's the big creatures that were destroyed by the asteroids. Right? Fortunately, there was an asteroid which came and destroyed them. Because they could have lived, we could not have. It's called the evolution by accident. You get that one? It's just one day before the last day that I'm talking about, dinosaurs are still roaming on the earth. The earth is being cooled for a good one day of the second last day of the universe till this point over here is the empire of dinosaurs. The very last day, human beings, I should say. It's been 13 point some billion years, as I said, about 13.5 billion years. There is no trace of humanity, no trace of humanity at all. It is only on the last hour of the last date of the cosmic calendar that we find our place. Nowhere before that, none before that. There is no trace of human beings whatsoever until the last hour of the cosmic calendar. That is how much time and space we occupy in this universe, in the history of this universe. We do not have any place before that. What about writing? When do you think the writing began? When do you think writing began? See, I told you that we started to live, the early humans started to wander the last hour of the cosmic calendar. When do you think writing began? The written history. When we have history written, what do you think? Or it is the scale of the cosmos?
Maybe December 28th.
No, we are already on December 31st. This is the last hour. Last hour only humans started to come. Last 14 seconds. 14, 1/4. All of the written history, till whatever you can go back, 40,000 generations of humans. I will write it down. This is a big number to me. You know, 40,000 generations. 40,000 generations of humans is only the 14 seconds of cosmic history. That's all. All of the known recorded history is 14 seconds. Think about it. All things that we know is last 14 seconds of the written history. A little bit before that, I would say 30 seconds before the midnight, is when we invented astronomy. Our descendants were the first astronomers on Earth. Why? Because we have nothing else to do. Everything we have to rely on the stars. You want to go north, you have to figure out which star rises in the north, which star goes to the south. So we are sort of descendants, at least all of us, common descendants from astronomers. There is not a single human being on Earth whose DNA does not trace back to any astronomer. Has to. So what we are doing comes very natural to us. It's not something which is a subject. I get offended when people call astronomy a subject. How it's a subject? It's not a subject. It's how you have your body. It's in your DNA. If not for astronomy, you shall not survive. You will not survive. Because the only way humans survive all these times and tides of history is because they had astronomy in hand. If we could look through the stars, we could know which way to go, we could find our place in the universe, at least on the earth that we are standing. The animals could not. They could not see the stars, they could not identify. Only because of the skill that we could look up to the sun, to the stars, we could navigate our ways, we could form settlements, we could predict things. It is only because of astronomy that the civilization still survives. And hence, to me, calling it a subject is an absolute disrespect to the beauty that is astronomy. You cannot call it a subject. That's your life cycle skills. Think about it. I'll give you an example. This generation, my generation, we grew up without GPS. Yes or no? How many of you used GPS in your childhood? When you were 5-year-old? How many of you? Yes, no? No, right? So we used to go out with the kids, with the friends, our childhood friends. We used to roam around the streets, and we never had GPS. We used to get lost, we used to ask people and come back. But this generation, they bought a GPS. They cannot imagine going without GPS. Right? So to them, when we talk about ourselves, after 2 generations, they're going to be like, you know what, my grandfather had the superpower to travel without GPS. That's how they're going to be talking. Because to them it's a superpower. They don't know life without GPS exists. Similarly, to us, astronomy is a superpower which ancient people had. Because that is the only way they could navigate. So GPS in our background. Right? For us, GPS is a luxury now. After 2 generations, it's necessary. And people will forget that manual navigation exists. And that we would ask people on the street and go about. And so it would all feel like a superpower to have. Right? So I have a small clip which I want to explain. Tyson does it. it's just to give an animation so that you know what is going on.
It contains everything consistent which on this calendar is midnight, December 31st.
I show you that
On this scale, every month represents about 1 billion years. Every day represents nearly 40 million years. Let's go back as far as we can to the very first moment of the universe. January 1st, the Big Bang. It's as far back as we can see in time. For now.
And so, coming back to it, this has a whole, I think I watched it, but I just want to give you the animated idea of how the person would go across months upon months on the cosmic calendar. Right? Now, as I said, it was only 6,000 years ago, 14 seconds ago, that we invented writing. Buddha was born 6 seconds ago on the cosmic calendar. Jesus was born 3 seconds ago. Muhammad was born 4 seconds ago. That is all the history of all the religions. Buddhism started somewhere 6 seconds ago on the cosmic calendar. Christianity some 3 seconds ago. That's it. That is all. And this, the very last second of the cosmic calendar, I'm talking about 1 day. As I said, 1 second is 400 years. Is all of the scientific method. All of the science that you have is the last tick of the cosmic calendar, the last clock. In that 1 second of our existence, from wonders, from making random experiments, we have stepped on the moon. Think about it. The scientific method exploration is so powerful that within the last second of the entire existence of the universe, it has made people who were just wanderers, explorers, and thinkers to go out into space and step on the moon. Just last tick. Imagine what it could do given enough time. Given 4 seconds at least of the cosmic calendar. All of the scientific method, all of the known scientific method you have occupies barely 1 second, 1 tick is a cosmic calendar, as I said. The scientific method is so powerful that within milliseconds of cosmic calendar, we have explored the power of the nucleus. We have seen as far in the universe as we could. We have calculated the age of the universe. We have calculated the length of the universe. We have perhaps calculated the mass of the universe too, using the same method. 5 steps which I'll talk about in the end. Now, as I said, in our schools, we have science. We do not have scientific method. Do you know there are 2 ways of teaching? Have you ever read it? How many of you are teachers or have you done some course on teaching? You teacher. Who else? No, right? There are 2 ways. There's something called topic-based teaching, which usually happens. So I come with a pen and a board, and I write reflection of light. I write reflection of light, and I go on learning about it. There's something called phenomena-based teaching. So I take a phenomenon, I take rainbow, and then I just discuss rainbow. I discuss rainbow till I know. Okay? In the rainbow, you will have reflection, you will have refraction, you will have absorption, you will have scattering. Every single thing that you want to understand about light will be there in the rainbow. But what we do, at least in our schools, is the topic-based teaching. We teach topics. So often when I was young, you see the window over here? You see it? Did you see your own image? Yes or no? Will you see your own image in the morning? Why? Can anybody answer?
Light has come back.
Light is coming, so what? Now also light is there.
It's brighter than. It's brighter than in here.
So you mean to see this? So if I go outside in the morning, the other part of the window, I must see my image. What do you think? Because then the same argument should go the other way, right? Because you say here it's brighter, then it's darker, but in the morning this should be darker, that should be brighter. So if I just happen to go about the balcony there, I could see my own image.
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Right. If you see it, give me a call. You're right. You see, are you sure? Why does it happen? As I said that lighter and darker, that's fine, but why?
we said the layer, like the layer on the door.
Uh,
We said that darker side prints outside.
okay.
Inside.
What else? Anything better? Should I ask you a little bit more basic question? A little bit more basic.
The light is reflecting.
I get it. You understand? Yeah. A little bit more basic. If I take this bottle and I drop it on my plant, what will happen? What will happen? No, I'll open it. I'll drop it. What will happen? I get wet. Plant will get wet. Does it color changes? No. Immediately the same color. Darker or lighter? Why darker? Why not lighter?
Because of more light.
What is getting wet? See, for example, if I shine some color on it, you necessarily don't change your temperature. Necessarily do. I mean, in some cases you do. Necessarily do. So why must a property like wetting change color? How is wetting related to color?
The atom of water.
Atom of water. It's molecule of water. Yeah. First, yeah, okay, no problem. That's fine. What do you think? Why does water change the color of the substance? Why does it make it dark in particular? And it could have made it lighter red. Red, so lighter red. Blue, so bright blue. Why blue and dark blue? Very basic question. These are not big questions. I'm not asking big questions. Now here is the scientific factor of it solves. No matter what answer I will tell you, don't be convinced. Go back and research yourself. First of all, see, are you convinced that it actually goes darker? Or does it think lighter? I'm falsely convinced. What do you think? It's lighter. What do you think? It is dark for sure. Dark for sure. But you cannot answer sufficiently here. Why dark? Why not lighter? It's a very basic question. This is where the scientific temperament comes in. Now you go home and you try to see how much, too much dark, too dark, little dark, very much dark. How much? What is the degree of darkness? Then you try to understand what if it actually changes the refractive index or something. Possibly. What? Something called optical density. Probably. I'm just throwing technical gibberish at you. This is not science. I'm throwing technical gibberish, it's not science. Okay. Think about it. Go home and think about it. We published a 16-page paper on this last year. That is what I'm saying. It was a 16-page paper on trying to explain why water turns things dark. And it was very technical. Once you start researching it, you will know everything about refractive index in the world that you have to. Nothing more is needed. You'll be very surprised because this question was asked by a class 5th kid. It was not asked by people like you who are like grown-ups and they know everything. It was asked by a class 5th kid. And I happened to take that question very seriously. It stuck upon me. Because as I said, for once in life, I started being honest with myself. And I understood that I can throw all that technical gibberish, but I don't understand this. So I went home and I asked my friends, and we started researching over it. It turned very interesting. I hope you come up with your own paper which is better than mine. I'm pretty sure you come. Think about it. It's very, very technical topic. It's not an easy topic. There are more things. Should I ask you one more? Okay. I give you 4 options. I'm asking you, what is the state of fire? Is it a solid, liquid, gas, or plasma? Okay. Raise your hands. Plasma. How many? Plasma. Yes? See, how many are convinced it is solid? The question is, like this is liquid. So what is the state of matter of fire? See the fire is water. That's fire and water. What is the state of matter? Is it gas? Is it liquid? Okay. So I think all in the room will agree that it's not solid. It's not liquid. You can say because it flows, kind of has a fluidity. So I might be convinced that it is fluid. How many say it's liquid? Or you want to rule it out? So I give you 4 options. I said solid, liquid, gas, and plasma. This you ruled it out?
It exists in all forms.
Okay, you see all. Okay, then what about this? Maybe. What about this? So some of you say that could be. How many of you say this? Okay, I got a variety of answers. Some of you say it's plasma. Some of you say it's gas. Some of you say it's oil. That was a very easy answer. Plasma is ruled out. I'll tell you why it's ruled out. Because plasma is essentially ionized gas at more than 1000 to 2000 degrees Celsius. And we have fire well below. I mean, it could be plasma. I'm not saying it is not plasma. I'm just saying that we could have fire well below 1000 degrees Celsius. Easy. 500 degrees Celsius we can have fire. Why not? 100 degrees Celsius we can have fire. Yes or no? Are you convinced with me or not? Okay? Is everybody convinced of this? Let's talk about liquid and gas. It's a little bit debatable. Should I agree on liquid or gas? I'll ask you another question. What state of matter is red color? What state of matter is red color? Red color. The color red. So it's very very good. Oh, black question. Black color. Not the substance which is black. The color. What is the state of matter?
The absence of color.
Yeah, there is no state, it's not a matter, it's a feeling, it's abstract. Fire is not a state of matter, it's not matter altogether, it's a chemical reaction. You cannot classify it as solid, liquid, gas, or plasma. It's impossible. The reason it feels like a matter is because it engages a lot of sense out of it. It engages visual, it engages feel, sort of has a smell to it. So you are fooled to believe it's matter altogether. It is not matter. It's not matter altogether. It cannot be solid, cannot be liquid, cannot be gas, cannot be plasma. Now, because it is not matter altogether, it's a chemical reaction. Like color is an abstract thing. Something turning, like the milk turning sour, is a chemical thing. It's a chemical reaction. That fermentation cannot be tagged as solid, liquid, gas, or plasma. You get that one? Some process is not a state of matter. It's a chemical reaction. Fire is a symbol. The combustion is taking place. It itself is not a state of matter. You get that? It's very basic. Very basic. Little bit. Nothing big. Nothing big about it. Let's talk about a very basic thing now. The human eye. All of your eyes? How do you think eye came about? Why do you think eye exists? Because we believe that any object, any part of our body must have some importance. And which does not have importance, we throw it out. Because if we have evolved from apes, from monkeys, we threw out the tail because we never needed it now, because we started walking and we don't have to walk, we don't have to climb the trees. So the tail was inevitably removed from the human body. Why do you think eyes exist? What is the function? Yeah.
I feel like before any organism came on, was supposed to be their acquirement. They came on.
Of course. So yeah, I get it. So do you think that eye has been as it is like this forever, or has it evolved? Or somebody engineered eye that he took out, like retina and all the things. Are you all convinced? Because I go into some of the audiences and they say that eye has been created. And then the debate stops and I can't say anything. That's it, that stops. So I'll show you a very nice segment, that is my next segment from Cosmos, where it shows, maybe actually, I'm not sure, where it shows how the eye has evolved. Probably useless. Yeah. So I'll ask you a few questions. Please pay attention to this. This is something. Oh, sorry.
Reduce the volume.
One day, there was a microscopic copy of it in the DNA.
Okay.
In the beginning, life was blind. This is what the world looked like 4 billion years ago. Before there were any eyes to see. Until a few hundred million years passed. And then, one day, there was a microscopic copy in the DNA of bacteria. This random mutation gave that microbe a protein molecule that absorbed sunlight. Want to know what the world looked like? Light-sensitive bacteria? Take a look at the right side of the screen. Mutations continue to occur at random, as they always do in any population of living things. Another mutation caused a dark bacteria safely exchange their DNA in the dark. They survived in greater numbers than the bacteria that stayed at the surface. Over time, those light-sensitive proteins became concentrated in a pigment spot on the more advanced parts of the organism. This made it possible to find the light, an overwhelming advantage for an organism that harvests sunlight to make food. Here's a flatworm's eye view of the world. This multicellular organism evolved a dimple in the pigment spot. The bowl-shaped depression allowed the animal to distinguish light from shadow, to crudely make out objects in its vicinity, including those to eat and those that might eat it. A tremendous advantage. Later, things became a little clearer. The dimple deepened and evolved into a socket with a small opening. Over thousands of generations, natural selection was slowly sculpting the eye. The opening contracted to a pinhole covered by a protective transparent membrane. Only a little light could enter the tiny hole, but it was enough to paint a dim image on the sensitive inner surface of the eye. This sharpened the focus.
Gradually, those tiny fish evolved, eyes and jaws. Fish then began to eat one another. If you could swim fast, you survived. If you had jaws to eat with, you could now use your gills to breathe the oxygen in the water. This is the way modern fish arose. During the summer, some swamps and lakes dried up, so some fish evolved a primitive lung to breathe air until the rains came. Their brains were getting bigger. If the rains didn't come, it was handy to be able to pull yourself along to the next swamp. That was a very important adaptation. The first amphibians evolved, still with a fish-like tail. Amphibians, like fish, laid their eggs in water where they were easily eaten. Then a splendid new invention came along, a hard-shelled egg laid on the land where there were as yet no predators. Reptiles and turtles go back to those days. Many of the reptiles hatched on land never returned to the waters. Some became the dinosaurs. One line of dinosaurs developed feathers useful for short flights. Today, the only living descendants of the dinosaurs are the birds. The great dinosaurs evolved along another branch. Some were the largest flesh eaters ever to walk the land. 65 million years ago, they all mysteriously perished. Meanwhile, the forerunners of the dinosaurs were also evolving in a different direction. Small, scurrying creatures, with the young growing inside the mother's body. After the extinction of the dinosaurs, many different forms developed. The young were very immature at birth. The marsupials, the wombat, for example, and in the mountains. The young had to be taught how to survive. Brain grew larger still. Something like a shrew was the ancestor of all the mountains. One line took to the trees, developing dexterity, stereovision, larger brains, and a curiosity about their environment. Some became baboons, but that's not the line to us. Apes and humans have a recent common ancestor. Bone for bone, muscle for muscle, molecule for molecule. There are almost no important differences between apes and humans. Unlike the chimpanzee, our ancestors walked upright, freeing their hands, poke and fix and experiment. We got smarter. We began to talk. Many collateral branches of the human family became extinct in the last few million years. We, with our brains and our hands, are the survivors. There's an unbroken thread that stretches from those first cells to us. Let's look at it again, compressing 4 billion years of evolution to 40 seconds. some of the things that molecules do, given 4 billion years of evolution.
So, as the last sentence says, that those are some of the things that molecules do, given 4 billion years of evolution. That means, is this a chemical reaction? If your body is nothing but the result of mere chemical reaction, depending upon the situation, depending upon the temperature and the circumstances. That is all. You must take your body as a nice accident. It's a fair chance accident. If not for that, we won't exist. It's as simple. That's how I take human life. Now, one thing, why can't you see this happening all the time? That you saw a nice change, you saw things transforming. Why can't you see it happening? A lot of people will ask, why don't I see organisms turning into this? Why? What? Yeah, it's the same reason for fossil fuels. You don't see coal turning into petrol like right now. You go take it over and over. You don't expect that by the time you die you will see a source of petrol. It's not going to happen. These things, generations. That's the first thing I mentioned. That we are like butterflies. We flutter for one day. Our realities are shaped for one day. Because when you come to astronomy, when you come to space science, you get the actual scale of the universe, the scale you have to work in. You cannot work at the scale of your own lifetime. You cannot work in the 70 years. It is absolutely impossible. But our experiences are shaped in that 70 years time frame. One thing I mentioned at the start is I said that, I don't know if I said it today, maths is not a subject, it's a language. Did I say that? Okay. I also said that I refer mathematicians to as spooky beings, and I'll tell you why I call them spooky beings. Do you want me to demonstrate here? Okay, it's a difference. I'm a very bad math student. I don't have the aptitude for maths. Let me just admit it. But I'm just amazed by the subject as it is. Like, same goes with music. I have no idea about music, but I have a taste. I like listening to particular branches of music and whatnot. The same goes with maths. I have no aptitude in maths. I cannot do maths very nicely. I don't know, because I've been introduced as a maths teacher, so it might sound as a whole thing. Why is it? You're a maths teacher, so you don't have aptitude science. You can teach anything if you spend enough time. You can teach anything you feel like. Okay, but I'm talking about the aptitude. Okay, where you have a natural touch for it. I don't. But I'm constantly amazed, and I'll justify what I said at the start. I said that maths is a language, and mathematicians firmly believe that. Do you know there's a thing called abstract? Every subject has this thing called abstract. What is abstract? Not that abstract. The feeling called abstract. Abstract feeling. What is it? You know, like a painter, I'll give you an example. So if the painter sees something, some object, he tries to paint it. Now for me, I'll spend lifetime thinking what colors to choose. But he will have an abstract feeling of it. He'll take the exactly right length of colors, and he'll take a little bit of white, a little bit of grey and whatnot. For me, I would try to search a formula that can you actually give me a ratio, how much to combine, 40 and 20 and whatever. For my brain works like that. Because I can, at least till now, I can never be painting. I don't have that abstract for painting, you know. Similarly, there's abstract in music. People will listen to some kind of music and you give them keyboard and they immediately start playing it. That's what I call abstract. So there is something called abstract sense in mathematics too. The moment you see it, you know it. How? That abstract sense. I'm talking about what? So, I'll tell you the difference. From what point it starts becoming abstract. Have you learned that there is a diagonal to every shape? Yes, no? So, a rectangle has a diagonal? Yes or no? How does it look like? If I am not wrong, this is the diagonal. Yes, no? I am not sure by math, that's why I'm asking. So if I represent this x1 and x2, we are convinced that this has to be root of x1 square plus x2 square. Yeah. And then you know that a cuboid has a diagonal too. Something like this. And you would say that, okay, if you want to calculate this diagonal, I hope this formula is not wrong. Is it? It's correct. This is how far a comprehensible human brain will go. Let's come to maths. This is not maths actually. This is geometry. This is not maths. The abstract doesn't come. A mathematician will try to imagine the diagram of a four-dimensional figure. You cannot. I mean, nobody. I don't know if somebody in the room who is able to imagine four dimensions. Is there? Can you value 4 dimensions? Can you?
Like I was maybe.
Maybe. So can you draw 4 dimensions?
No.
Is it possible? No, right? So for us, we are good at this point. This is the part of maths we are exposed to. Not manipulation. You can go beyond this. You can start saying that I see a pattern there, and I can maybe not imagine the 4th dimension, but I can tell you that if there is a diagonal in the 4th dimension, it must follow this formula. Yes, sir. So very abstract. Now, you may not have this abstract feeling, but the mathematician has a feeling. He readies this model. He can do it for n dimensions if he can. That is where you turn into a mathematician. You lose the sense of reality, the sense of what is happening. You go into the abstract zone. Okay? I shall show you one evidence. While the mathematicians firmly believe that nature speaks this language. It's the language of mathematics. Nature speaks it. Continuously talks to you in this language. So if you want to interact with the nature, if you want to know what she's speaking, what she's talking about, you must speak in the same language. It's like the same thing I live in Russia, and we speak Russian language over there. Now, you could go to Russia and not speak Russian language. It's possible. But you have a hard time. Speak Russian language. Life is easy. You know, automatically you start understanding everything. You get to know how locals are, what they think about you, what you want to speak to them, and so forth. Same goes with nature. You can then live your life at this point. You may never go to this. But the moment you go there, you sort of trying to become friends with nature. I'll show you an example. So there was this guy. I think he lived around 2000 BC. Can you imagine how back it is? What is the year now? 2000? 80. So how long back?
4018.
About 4000. Now I'm asking a simple question. Tell me a practical way to measure the circumference of the Earth. Tell me practically. How would you do? As physicists or as technicians, how do you do it? How do you do it today? Satellite pictures.
Or else using parallax and
Parallax for Earth. No, you can have parallax for other planets. I doubt if you could apply parallax to Earth itself. Can you? I've never heard of it. Enlightened. No? Yes, no? Can you? So parallax is for something far off, right? You live in the Earth's orbit. I don't think so. What other methods do you think? Simplest method is say around Earth. Why not? I mean, it's the only way to verify. Yes or no? You just say around the Earth. So you have Earth and you're like, okay, this is the Earth. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just go one round. And I can measure in knots. So if I'm not wrong, if you can Google Earth, what is the circumference of the Earth? I believe it is like this. I'm not sure. Am I correct? Radius is 6,400 kilometers. Yes or no? How much is radius? 6,400. So I believe this makes sense if this pi is around 3 and then 2 and then 3 into 2 that's 6 and 6 into 6 36. So we'll add up about 40. I believe. Because I didn't count the decimal point by that. Okay. Now this is how common people look. Okay. And if we discover the circumference of Earth, I think about the last second of the cosmic calendar. That is about 400 years back. But now I'm talking about 1,000 years. So this lived a guy. His name started with E and I'm very sorry for the not supportive, I forgot his name. I don't care. Let's name him E. Because it's starting very busy. Okay. This guy, I'm going to show you how abstract it works. Okay. Does anybody know the method? What he did? You do? No? Okay.
Is it something regarding places?
Yes, precisely. But I'm going to show you what went through his mind. That is more important to me. The method is not important. Okay? So those days, when people have to exchange information, they used to do through something called logs, the log books. We have sailors. Nowadays we have cell phones. The moment you want to know something, what is the temperature at this place, what is the humidity at this place, you just open your cell phone and you Google up everything you feel like. Those days, they didn't have the privilege. So any information that has to be shared by log books which were maintained by sailors. Sailors used to maintain log books of everything. And this is a time, we talk about a very primitive time, where people believe the earth is flat. People. By people I mean who can calculate the diagrams of three points. Those are people, not mathematicians. Because mathematicians don't give any damn about your common sense. They don't care. They only talk in the language of nature. And so this guy, he had a logbook from his friend who lived somewhere here on Earth. I'm sorry I did this here first. I should have drawn a flat surface. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So his friend lived here, and he lived here. And the cities were 800 kilometers apart. Okay? And in his logbook, when these guys met together, he said that when it is 23rd of June, there is a shadow. You put a 1 meter long stick like this, and you get a shadow. It's nothing big. It's like a data, so you have 1 meter stick. Shadow. But what he remembered from his own observations, that when he used to place 1 meter stick on 23rd June in his place, there was no shadow. That's kind of fishy. It won't bother normal people, I'm telling you. It will bother another person. Because he speaks the same language. And he imagined that if there's a stick over here, and there is a sun, and if Earth has to be flat as it is told, we would have the same length of the shadow. Exactly. The only way it makes sense is that there has to be curvature. A little bit of curvature. And he said, okay, this is the only way it makes sense. That the sun is here on 23rd of June. It casts no shadow. It casts, very good. It casts some shadow over here, which you can call this shadow. He also saw in his journal that this degree is the angle of the shadow. It's 7 degrees. Now, to any of us it would make no sense. So what do we do with that? But then, as I said, they're not normal people. So what he did is, and he joined both of it to the center of it. And you would have this line, which is the shadow. Sorry, this line, not this is the shadow. And this is 7 degrees. Now, purely by mathematics, you know this must be 7 degree too. It's something we learned in the basics in our class 8, the parallels. And so he argued that for the 7 degrees, this is 800 kilometers. I think it's basic maths to figure out that if 7 degrees give you 800 kilometers, how much? 360. Must be. And his answer was about 40,000 kilometers. You could do the analysis yourself. I mean, you have a phone, you can work it out. It's not big. What I tell you is that 4,000 years ago, somebody with a stick and a shadow and a pen and a pencil and merely the language could tell you how big the earth is without even going about it. It took human beings 3,000 years to actually measure it, only to come up with that answer. To me, it's spooky. That's why I said I always call mathematicians spooky. They'll be there before you do. I have a very nice analogy. Have you heard the name of Jules Verne? Maybe I write the name. So this name. This guy. Have you heard the name? No. He was a very great science fiction writer. He was the first person to have written the journey to the moon. He imagined in his head the journey to the moon. How would mankind ever make it to the moon? Who was the first person to reach it, to make it to the moon? Neil Armstrong. Yeah. Now I'll tell you why it's spooky. Imagine the first person to actually go on the moon is Neil Armstrong. He goes to the moon and he sees the footsteps of Jules Verne. That would be really spooky because Jules Verne never went to the moon. He just made an imagination that if you were to go, you would go like this. The same is the relation between mathematicians and the normal people or the scientists. A mathematician is already there. Years before, you will imagine getting it. Years before. You will have no trace. The Greeks found out the equation of ellipse. Years before, Kepler proved that the planetary orbit is elliptical. Years before. They had no business with ellipse. They had nothing to do with ellipse. None of the structures are elliptical eventually. In the whole of the architecture, nothing is elliptical. Still, for fun, because he's a mathematician, just for the abstract feel of it, he can tell you that this ellipse is how the planet should move. If at all, the planetary motion has to make sense. That is why in my workshops I always tell that being a mathematician is a really spooky thing. You got to scare me. And what they teach maths is a whole difference. There's all a bunch of formulas and whatnot, all things going on the board. They don't tell you how abstract that subject is. That it has a firm foundation just in the language of the universe and nothing, absolutely nothing. I switch to the second last thing of my talk. It's called the pale blue dot. How many have heard? Right. Have you? Pale blue dot. blew out his sentence. Why not? So in 1975, this guy Carl Sagan, he was the head of a new mission at NASA. It was the Voyager mission. Have you heard of it? Voyager 1?
Yes.
What was it supposed to do? Yeah, it's just go about the solar system, go thrown out. Okay. Like, this is our last kind of thing. Go up. We don't want to go home. Okay. Most of our satellites used to orbit them, but there was first satellite go. Okay. It was equipped with the best cameras of that time, best telescopic cameras of that time. So you could, yeah.
The golden record.
Yeah, the golden record, obviously. So what he did, he recorded the music of the planet. And if somebody finds it,
Images in the form of
images, yeah, exactly. How do you get back to Earth? Just like an instruction for interstellar travelers. That if there are some agents out there, this is how you reach to us. Okay, and they send a photo of a man and a woman and everything. Yeah. Okay. He did something interesting with it. There was a camera on board, obviously. It was supposed to relay images of the galaxy, of the solar system ahead of us. But for once, because he was the head of the mission, he requested NASA to flip the camera back. That if you could, for once, take the selfie of the Earth. Right? So you could see from there, and that time it would barely make you Uranus. Okay? So if you could see from back how Earth looks. Okay. I'll show you that image. It's over here. Oh, sorry. You see over here. I should. Okay. This is Earth. From about some million kilometers away from us. This is how we look. So anybody passing by, any alien ship going past by us, would look at this. And on this small dot, you would have everything happen that is in the known history. You would have all the great kings, the great the murderers of the history, the great supreme leaders of the history, all the ideologies, all the religions, all of the stories of mankind is just on this dot. And Carl Sagan gave a very nice description of it. I'm not going to ruin it with my own voice. I want him to say it. Okay?
That pier, that's home. That's us. On it, everyone you love, everyone you know, everyone you ever heard of, every human being who ever was, lived out their lives. The aggregate of our joy and suffering. Thousands of confident religions, ideologies, and economic doctrines. Every hunter and forager, every hero and coward, every creator and destroyer of civilization, every king and peasant, every young couple in love, every mother and father, hopeful child, inventor and explorer, every teacher of morals, every corrupt politician, every superstar, every supreme leader, every saint and sinner in the history of our species lived there on a mote of dust, suspended in a sunbeam. The Earth is a very small stage in a vast cosmic arena. Think of the rivers of blood spilled by all those generals and emperors, so that in glory and triumph they could become the momentary masters of a fraction of a dot. Think of the endless cruelties visited by the inhabitants of one corner of this pixel on the scarcely distinguishable inhabitants of some other corner. How frequent their misunderstandings, how eager they are to kill one another, how fervent their hatreds. Our posturings, our imagined self-importance, the delusion that we have some privileged position in the universe are challenged by this point of pale light. Our planet is a lonely speck in the great enveloping cosmic dark. In our obscurity, in all this vastness, there is no hint that help will come from elsewhere to save us from ourselves. The Earth is the only world known so far to harbor life. There is nowhere else, at least in the near future, to which our species could migrate. Visit? Yes. Settle? Not yet. Like it or not, for the moment,
The Earth is where we make our stand. It has been said that astronomy is a humbling and character-building experience. There is perhaps no better demonstration of the folly of human conceits than this distant image. To me, it underscores our responsibility to deal more kindly with one another and to preserve and cherish the pale blue dot, the only home we've ever known.
So, as you saw, it says that astronomy is a very humble and character-building science. The reasons we are into science is not to throw technical gibberish on the blackboard. It's not to learn theorems, formulas. The reason we do astronomy is because we are members. So we have the senses, we have the capabilities to do. All the species do have, maybe not to our extent. So for all of us who are in science, and those who are just seeing this part of science, this blackboard gibberish, not that, are doing everything except science. Not science, at least, to my knowledge. Because it's a very character-building topic. That is when you realize that you must not throw yourself into memorizing all sort of weird gibberish that is thrown at you. But try to feel the topics. But try to explore what's there. Imagine, telescope is nothing but barely 2 lenses. That's all. But it opens your eyes onto the universe. You can see whatever you feel like. This is the achievement of human intellect. So what we do is we have a lot of this is what I call the popular science lectures. These are not specific to particular topics. So most of our lectures are popular science lectures. When we go, we challenge the students to think beyond just the scoring in the exam. To think beyond not just memorizing, but rather feel the concepts that you're learning. How vast your arena is, that your science is not limited to your classroom, but rather all of the space, all of the universe, this vast expanse of 13.8 billion years is your experimental hall. You can do whatsoever you feel. The fifth thing, and the most important inclusive thing of my entire lecture, is the 5 simple rules of science. It's very first thing. It's a question of all. You need not believe something just because somebody is telling you to believe. Just because I am saying so, just because your teacher is saying so. The only reason I'm into science is because I get to challenge authority. You don't have to be Newton, you don't have to be Einstein to do science. You can be just a common person in the street, and yet you can challenge the utmost authority in science. There is no authority. There is no authority in nature. Nobody makes the laws of nature but nature itself. So anybody claiming to be authority in science, this is foolishness. You can ignore it. There's no big science. The second one, think for yourself. Question things because you want. I gave you a question that why governments your plan rather than liking. Think for yourself. Do not rely on the questions given by others, given in the book. Third one, test ideas by the evidence gained from observation and experiment. There are some favorite ideas. There are some ideas you want them to be true in astronomy, physics, and chemistry. But if the idea fails, a well-designed experiment, get over it. There's nothing you can do. If a well-designed experiment does not allow an idea to pass, the only way we have is to throw it off the gutter. Follow evidence wherever it leads. There are certain aspects of science which are absolutely non-commonsensical. When we come to quantum mechanics, for example, we say that we cannot measure the position and the momentum of a particle simultaneously. It goes beyond common sense because in day-to-day life we are good with it. I can see exactly how fast you are going and where you are going. Then one fine day I come up to you and say that you know what, it's actually an illusion. But all the evidence we ever have leads to this, at least for that answer. So there are places where our evidence leads to uncomfortable places. But again, our ego should not come in. And perhaps the most important rule of all, and this is something my teachers never followed. You could be wrong. I would blatantly put it, because when I used to question them, and their reasonings They were like, I said this, so it is. This is very much against science. It cannot be. It cannot be because you said so. It's absolutely false. You could be wrong, and almost all the scientists that I've ever read of are wrong about something. Evidence. How does the evidence come? I'll tell you a small incidents from Richard Feynman's life, just on a closing note. Richard Feynman, as you know, was a Nobel Prize winning scientist, physicist, I would say. But more than that, he is one of my favorite painters. He used to paint very much. And he learned painting at the age of 65. Well, he was already an accomplished professor. He had won Nobel Prize decades before this age. He was a faculty at Caltech. He was a visiting professor at MIT. And one fine day he made up his mind on painting. He used to paint very bad, but within 1 year, he developed himself so much that his paintings used to be sold at $20 million, $30 million. That was his price. The amount of money. When he was presented Nobel Prize, he was asked to give a speech. So there was a whole community, and there's this guy who's come up and he's got Nobel Prize. Everybody expects him to be happy. He says, but he was quite happy. He didn't say, the host asked him that, what would you like to say about the Nobel Prize? Because you've been asked, you developed a whole new branch of physics, you developed quantum electrodynamics. What do you feel about it? He said, it's okay. That's how they responded in his Nobel Prize winning speech. That's okay. And the committee got a bit sad. They said that this person is getting Nobel Prize and people go crazy, They have this huge amount of money. And when in the next interview, BBC called him and they questioned him. He said, Mr. Feynman, that you've been given Nobel Prize, but you give a rather dull response. And he says, I don't believe in authority and votes. I'm just creating videos. You want to know what my price is? When I understood a phenomenon, the pleasure of knowing, finding things out, is my price. If I believe in awards, good to have, not necessarily my price. It's the pleasure of finding. Some people get kicked by doing things, I get kicked by skydiving. I'm doing a professional skydiving course. So I get kicked by skydiving and traveling to weird places. I traveled to North Pole recently, last time. There's another lecture that I gave about it, and so forth. Next year we are making it to Mount Everest. We have another expedition, and so forth. You get a kick by different things. Feynman used to get a kick out of thinking. And so he says, my pleasure lies in thinking. Now all my awards lies in thinking. And he says, Nobel Prize winning paper. Let me tell you, I work on it only for 3 months. People go lifetimes for the Nobel Prize papers. He says, one fine day, I was sitting in cafeteria. I was not having. He never used to dine with the professors. He used to think they were very boring people. He used to have too much egos about their knowledge. So he used to sit with the students. And there was a student playing with the frisbee. The frisbee, you throw it off. And so the Caltech frisbee had a very weird thing. It had a layer. So if you could see this, if you imagine this as frisbee, there was a layer here which had a blue kind of token. So every time you throw it up, it used to wobble around that circle, and down that circle. So the student was throwing it up, and he was just playing with that. Okay, he thought that what if I could work out the mathematical equation of the motion of that blue thing inside the circular ring, and as it wobbles up with the frisbee, how does that thing move? He was just playing with it, just playing, nothing more. Then he extended it. What if this was a wobbling electron in the electromagnetic field? That was his Nobel Prize winning paper. Nothing. Took him 3 months. He used exactly the same fun thing he was having with students, developing the equations of the wobbling frisbee one fine day in the cafeteria, which became his Nobel Prize winning paper. That's how he's doing. And so I always recommend students not to become Newton but to become Feynman. But to have pleasure in thinking, pleasure in describing. You cannot contain that pleasure. Because all my lectures, as she said, I do it for free of cost. Not because I get something out of it. It's just the pleasure of sharing. When you know something and you cannot contain it within yourself, that's when you know that you actually understood it. So I end the lecture today by thanking Nikita for calling me here. I hope you like whatever little I shared. And I hope I come back next time. Thank you so much.